So Story Circle Toys here. Look, it's not often that a toy shop goes and sends you a message and tells you they have some toys that you're interested in, some grails. But that's what Rochelle at Retrospace did. So before Christmas, we headed into one of my favorite toy shops in the country and had a look around. And in a minute, you're going to see it. This is it. This is Marshall Bravestar. Back in 1986 or maybe 87, little old Alan got a whole heap of these figures, and seeing all these today were absolutely breathtaking. So excited. This was on my Grails list. Let's jump into Marshall Bravestar to remind you who he was.
And faraway place, the planet of New Texas floats deep in space. Sky of three suns, land of precious ore. The Carrion Rush brought outlaws by the score. And one day a lawman appeared, with powers of hawk, wolf, puma, and bear. Protector of peace, mystic man from afar. Champion of justice, Marshall Bravestar. Bravestar. Eyes of the hawk, ears of the wolf. Bravestar. Bravestar. Brains of the bear, feet of the puma. Bravestar. Bravestar.
Now, look, I was there for the Marshall Bravestar, but at the same time, I couldn't help but having a look at the rest of their vintage toy section. So Retrospace has a full range of new toys, a big range of pops, and lots of other things, but their vintage toy section now takes up the kind of back section of the store, and as you can see, there is so much stuff in here. There's Micro Machines, there's G.I. Joe, there's Transformers, there's Star Wars, there's all sorts of bits and pieces. Now look, I'm going to stop talking for once. I'm just going to let you guys have a look at what is, one of the coolest vintage stores in New Zealand. Yeah, take a look at this. If there is anything you're keen on from these videos, I'll pop up all their socials, obviously in the description. I'll pop them up now, so reach out to Retrospace to see if they can sort out any of this stuff for you. Otherwise, I'm going to catch you in the roundup. You can see what I picked up. And here we are back at the studio. So this is part of our Retrospace haul. So look, enormous thank you to Rochelle and the team at Retrospace. We popped in just before Christmas, so the store was about as busy as it could be. A toy store before Christmas, so I appreciate her contacting me to let us know that there were some Grails in the store, and also letting us film in the store when it was so busy. So hope you enjoyed the montage of some of the excellent vintage collection that's at the store. Of course, they have a great modern range as well, and we are going to get that covered one day in a video and a great interview with Rochelle, hopefully. So let's get down to what we actually picked up. First of all, here is the Imperial Toys Rhino Avenger from the Dragons, Knights, and Daggers range. So you may have noticed that I actually have already picked up one of these. But of course, there we go. There's the big thing. There's the saddle. So the last one I picked up was incomplete. As I just pointed out, there's a little bit of goo on the saddle. I think it's some paint. I'm not going to remove that, just adds to the charm of the figure. So this is about as complete as you get it. It didn't come with any other accessories. I suppose the only thing that's not on the figure at the moment is there was like some kind of like a plastic rope that went between the two holes under the belly of the Rhino Avenger. But that was more kind of just for the packaging, to keep it on while it was in the packaging, not an actual accessory. So this is about as complete as you can get. I don't know what I'm going to do with the first Rhino Avenger. Look, maybe I'll put that for sale. Maybe I'll keep it. I do love this line, and hopefully I can pick up some other figures. The Rhino also appeared in a chariot. That's the other version that I don't have of that figure. Now this one is the saber-toothed serpent. You'll notice again there's some paint or something. Again, not going to remove that. It's fine. Adds to the character of the figure. So this particular line was what they call a Motu adjacent line. So, I've seen pictures of this online, but you could easily have your He-Mans and your Skeletors and any of the other characters on these. Same scale. It's meant to be like an alternative. There was so many of these kind of like sword and sorcery fantasy series, and they're all like the same scale. So you could easily mix and match these figures to your heart's content. So the other thing about this, as you're going to see in a second, is we actually went back to Retrospace after the holidays, and as soon as I got in, Rochelle was like, "Hey, I think I have something for you." Interest was piqued, and she went into the back and brought out these these inserts for the figures. So you can see here, these were like the inserts that went into the box version of the figures, which one day, hopefully, I'd love to get an unboxed version of these. So I was super happy that Rochelle tracked these down, realized that they were connected, and passed them on to me. And see the little holes there from where the figures would have been kind of like roped in. So, of course, she found both of them for both figures. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I don't really want to kind of tape them up or put any kind of tape on them, but I do want to display the figures in these. So maybe I'll make my own little box in which to put the insert on. So yeah, I don't know for sure, but I'll figure it out. The final other little piece from this haul was, of course, the very menacingly named Satan Beetle. This is part of my whole kind of kaiju, Godzilla, Safubi kind of obsession at the moment. So this character is from Ultraman Leo. He's like a 1989 Bandai figure. And of course, he first appeared in Ultraman Leo in 1974. So yeah, but I love these designs. Ultraman had so many different kaijus over many years of a TV show. So this was a little bit of a no-brainer. I'm so glad to pick this up, and he will go onto my kaiju shelf, which I will hopefully have on the channel. All right, let's head to the final haul. And here we are. The reason we went to Retrospace, the reason we started this video. Marshall Bravestar. Look, you probably thought after me showing off those Imperial toys and the Ultraman Kaiju that I had in fact not picked up Marshall Bravestar, and had this the original video that I did for this before Christmas. If I'd actually used that, you would have been correct. I didn't pull the trigger on this figure to start with. Just, it was before Christmas, it was a big cost. because it is, this is 1986 Marshall Bravestar figure. They are not a cheap figure, not easy to find, and not in the States. So look, this figure, this is Bravestar. This is the main character from the line. This is the quick draw action version of the figure. There was actually two versions of Marshall Bravestar. There was another one that came with a kind of a backpack, which you could actually, like the two main characters, Marshall Bravestar and Tex-Hex, had these electronic backpacks which could actually shoot each other. Now, as a kid, I never had those. I don't know how expensive they were. Although, if you see from this box here, apparently this was $4.99 back when it was, I assume it was 1986 or 87 that was purchased. So that would have been a steal at the time, which is, what every what every toy content creator says. If only we could have got it at those original prices, or just kept a hold of it. If only I'd kept it in the box. So after Christmas, went back, did a deal with Rochelle, and picked us figure. So big thanks that she's now helped me complete one of my Grail finds of 2025. I'm really keen to go back and start sorting out getting some of the other ones. I need to get at least one villain. Probably the character I want to get is the Sandstorm. That'll pop up here. He's one of the villains. And again, he looks like he's relatively complete in box. And also one of Marshall Bravestar's other confidants, Handlebar, who is a cool, wacky character that fires little discs. Now, this Marshall Bravestar isn't complete. He is missing the little Kyrium rocks. Let's get a closer look at this figure. So he has, most importantly, his hat, because what is a cowboy without a hat? So we've got the hat there. He has his kind of like vest as well. He's got his little gun holder and, of course, his little blaster. So there were actual life-size version of these blasters, so you could play like a laser-style tag game. And, of course, one of the great things is his quick draw action still works. So you've got a small button on the back to do that. So otherwise, this figure is actually in immaculate condition. There is some of the silver on here has gone, but I'm just not too worried about that. He also has his laser rifle. You can see there in the box. So this figure has been taken out of the box, and it is missing the little Kyrium rocks. But I'm also going to flash up some really nice images in a second of my Marshall Bravestar. Look, there you go. This is the laser fire versions. You can see there, and of course you could get the giant size, person size, neutral laser, and laser fire backpack. To play with, there are some of the characters. So Handlebar and Sandstorm you can see there. Maybe hopefully I'll get a Tex-Hex and a Skullwalker one day. 3030 is one of the real key figures to get. It's really difficult to pick up. But yeah, I am so pleased to knock off one of the Grail items. One other little cool thing I'll show you guys that comes with each of the Marshall Bravestar figures is, of course, this New Texas Daily News. So like a little newspaper. These are fantastic as a kid. So this covers some of the story. When you go inside and look, let me open this up. You've got a little puzzle maze there. You've got a little cartoon as well. And there, look, you've got wanted posters for Thunderstick and Sandstorm, and also showing you the neutral laser weapon. But the coolest thing, and there were 4 of these, I'm not sure, I have to do some more research, but there are 4 of these. You get this cool poster, this one showing Outlaw Scuzz and the evil Sandstorm. So I will try and get all these posters. Man, it'd be cool to get them all framed up, but I'm not sure if I have the space in the wall. So again, look, big shout out to Rochelle and her team at Retrospace. Obviously, you can find all their details are plastered all over this video. If you saw something in the video that you really liked, please reach out to them. They're available on social media, or just give them a phone call. I'm sure Rochelle will be happy to sort you out with some vintage toys. All right, and that is Story Circle Toys out. We'll catch you all next week.